Hey there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today's video, continuing our series, we are going to do a lick from box 3. Now, we've obviously done licks from box 1 and licks from box 2. I want to encourage you, before you get into anything, to go back and play those licks again. Remember, I said memorization is very important. In order to be able to recall them, you got to have them memorized, and you got to keep playing them day after day. Imagine if you learned French and you learned some stuff in French, some things to say, right? But then you never spoke French to anybody for a month. You're probably not going to remember, or a year. I don't really know how long it will take. I don't speak French, but you get the idea, right? Think of soloing, think of music as a language. And these are the licks and phrases that you're going to use to communicate, right? So if you don't communicate, if you don't ever use them, they do go away. So make sure that you play through those first 2 licks. Turn on the jam track, play through those first 2 licks that we learned, the one from box 1, the one from box 2. Let's add in this one from box 3. Now, of course, first, box 3 starts at the 10th fret, the D. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. Sorry, 10, 13 on the 2nd string. Oh, I messed that up. Let's try it again. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 10, 13. That little spot right there is the source of many people's trouble. 10, 12. Now you'll notice that I'm kind of stretching out a little bit from that 9 to 12. You can use your pinky if you prefer. It's all what feels more comfortable to you. For the blues variation, we add the 11th fret down here on the 6th string. 10, 12, 10, 12, 13 on the 4th string. 9, 12, 10, 13, 10, 11, 12 on the top string. And as always, the pentatonic scale, and I'll say the blues variation, I like to say they're functionally equivalent. You can use either anytime you're playing a blues. Obviously, you're going to play the pentatonic most of the time, but periodically you're going to throw those blue notes in. This lick happens to be one of those times. We are going to do it right off the bat. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is this quick little grace note, and this is a habit that I really want you to get into. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're going to play the same note twice, I think it's really handy to just do a little grace note one of the times, and it really separates them out. And typically I would actually do it on the second one. But in this case, I stole this lick from somebody else, so it's not me. It's really more Albert King-ish, I think, but I might have stolen this from Eric Clapton. Sometimes I forget who I stole them from. But in any event, we're going to do a quick hammer-on from the D to the E. And it's going to be like you're going to pluck the D and immediately hammer on the E. And that's going to be 1 and And then we have all triplets. So this is actually an easy count because it's going to be 2 and 12, 11, 10. And then 3 and is 13, 10, 13. 4 and A, G, A, or 10, 12, 10. And then on beat 1, we're going to bend that 12th fret on the 3rd string up a full step and hold it. Now, I have it written that it goes for 1 beat, 1 and In reality, you could hold that longer if you needed to. You could hold it shorter if you needed to. You could cut it off completely if you needed to. It just depends on what the next thing is that you're going to play. So keep that in mind. So if we count this out very slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And again, though I have said it before in previous videos, do what I do, say what I say. I realize you may not be able to read that notation. It's okay. You don't have to read it. If you want, print out the tab, put it right next to you, write down what you're supposed to say. But please, count out loud, memorize the lick, just like you did for the previous two. It really does matter. The counting thing is huge. And I have legions of students that will back me up on that. It's a big deal, and if you can get yourself doing it, it will change the way you approach music forever and make it that much better. Okay, so that's the lick. Let's try it along with the jam track. A 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. And again, this will work over any of the chords because it's in the minor blues sound. So we don't necessarily care what chord is going on as long as it's a blues in A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Just get to where you can play it comfortably along. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. And ideally, what you'll want to do is play your box 1 lick a couple times, your box 2 lick a couple times, your box 3 lick a couple times, your box 1 lick, your box 2 lick. Just keep going through them. It's really fun. Okay, this is hardly practice. You're just playing cool licks over a jam track. That's soloing. You're doing it. You're doing that thing that we all like to do, playing cool licks over a jam track, which is soloing. Now I realize you're probably looking at it and you're thinking, well, yeah, but I'm just playing these licks that I learned. Well, yes, that's always how it will be. The difference is the licks will get more complex. Your ability to combine them will get more complex. And that's the thing you'll see again later on. You'll see it a lot in the 50 Slow Blues Licks by the Box course. Okay, so remember that's kind of why I'm doing this. I want to kind of show you about this whole idea of having blues licks by the box. In the course you get 10. We're just doing 1, obviously, but in each of those sections there's trading videos where you trade back and forth with me. I just play 1 of the 10 and you play it back. So again, that's, getting your ear in the game so that you're, able to recognize them by sound. That goes both ways. When you are thinking about what it is you want to play, I like to call it your mind's ear, comes up with the idea that you're going to play, and then you execute it. So when you can hear something and play it back, that's working on that process of you getting things out. It's actually a really valuable part of the process that is often overlooked. So please don't overlook those trading videos. Very, very important. Similarly, I put all of the licks together into a solo at the end of every section. So all 10 licks get used in a nice long 24-bar solo. Plus, there are 3 bonus solos at the end of the course where I use licks from all 5 boxes. You get that full-on sort of story form 24 bars of slow blues licks, like it's a solo. And there are some times when I use only part of a lick. As I've mentioned, sometimes, okay, you cut that off, or you cut that off, or you squish these 2 things together. So you get to see how that can work. And it's really, really cool how they just kind of all bolt together and turn into a cool solo, right? So as always, I'm going to leave links near this video for the jam track, for the tab, and I'll leave a link to the new 50 Slow Blues Licks by the Box. It is on sale this week. It is brand new. So make sure you go check that out and get yourself a copy. And I will see you tomorrow with a lick from box 4. Take care. Bye-bye.